taken down, at least on my apps, recording right to YouTube. So the two options are doing this live on Twitch and exporting it, or recording it onto my camera and then uploading it. Uploading it takes so much longer than exporting. So that's why I'm doing it this way. And the problem with that is when you do a live stream, which is probably why a lot of people do that intro video for like a few minutes before their stream, once it tells you you're going live, you still might not be live yet. So you have that little space of time, which, I don't know, feels like could be between a couple seconds and a minute or more. So that's why I just BS there at the beginning. So anyway, let's get into it. Let me start Would you kitty? This cat's trying to claw my junk. Alright, I am going to start that, and that'll be my timer. So anyway, let's get into the show. Things still suck. Just to touch on yesterday's episode, which took like 2 or 3 hours to upload, which is why I'm doing it on Twitch instead of over on, like I said, instead of recording it on my phone cam and uploading it. So anyway, nothing's been resolved, but I think I have an idea to resolve one of the two major problems I have. So fingers crossed, prayers. Yeah. So anyway, I was thinking how great it would be to have a debate show where the two debaters, or it could be a team of debaters, where they're required to be civil, for starters. And like, no, you're wrong and you're a racist for saying it. No, you're wrong and you're a retard for saying it. No, you're wrong and you're literally Hitler. I just like, hey, today's episode, was Trump a good president? Let's start off, the guy who's pro-Trump. Give us the reason why he was a good president. Well, this. Alright, person who disagrees, tell us why that's wrong. Oh, you think that's actually one of the few things he did right. Alright, cool. Give us a reason why he's a bad president. Alright, tell us why this guy is wrong. Oh, because I think, for starters, if you think Trump was all good or all bad, I don't know what to tell you. You're cray-cray. I don't want to say, I hate saying, I hate the term supporter, as if whatever he does, I'm going to be. So I'm not a Trump supporter, but I think he did a good job. And yeah, what about COVID? Dude, he could have shut off travel day one that we heard about COVID. People have been walking. I'll try to find a story before next episode. But I'm pretty sure they've caught people with COVID coming up through the border of Mexico. Well, not Mexicans, or at least not all Mexicans, but just people. People do that. They go to Mexico and then they come up through that open border. Shoot, almost all of South America has people. Not all of South America. That's probably pushing it. At least northern South America has people who migrate, who caravan up to go into the United States. And why wouldn't they? It's a good deal. They get caught, they get released. They're like, we'll come back for your court. Like, yeah, right. I'll be in another state before then, and probably get myself established. And I don't even think people really are concerned with the people who come up too much with people who come up and are try to be productive members of society, of the American society. Now, I will say this about I have to establish the Trump speech about people like, oh, he called Mexican rapists and this and that. And like, no, he talked about the people who are coming up from Mexico. Those are the ones who are the this and that and that. Now, to a degree, I agree, but he definitely painted the picture like it was a majority, and I don't know that to be true. And he did say that he assumes in that group are good people, but in the speech he definitely made it seem like a majority of those people were not good people. And I think I just went on a tangent. So anyway, let's backtrack to Drew. I would really like the show, that one show I just talked about, because what a tangent that was. So we'll go back to the show I'm talking about, the debate show. I'll run it. I don't care. Or you can get, is there a show like that? Because I'd love to see it. And it's not biased. Don't say like Bill Maher. Because he brings on his panel of people who agree with him. And then he'll sometimes bring on someone that him and his panel can gang up on. Sometimes he'll go one-on-one with those people. Respect to that. But you usually don't see him, his YouTube channel, promoting when he either ties or comes up on the short end of the stick of those debates. But I mean, it's just like news. You need news that's unbiased. Because I don't know how people, well, I mean, I know how people, they're like, oh, it's all good that they, my words are getting ahead of my thoughts, or vice versa. My thoughts are getting ahead of my words. People being okay with like YouTube and Facebook and whatnot. I really should have put the camera over here, not over here. You're okay with YouTube, right? Yeah, camera's there. If you're okay with like Twitch and YouTube, or not Twitch, or any social media, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, any group, censoring news stories, that's kind of scary. Because, like, even if they agree with you, eventually you're gonna disagree with them. Because no two people are gonna agree on everything unless they don't get into everything. And eventually, you're gonna be disagreeing with the powers that be who are controlling all this, and then you're gonna get censored. And then you're not gonna like it so much. It's like that, it's like a poem or a short story or a speech or whatever. That's pretty much, at first they went for the protesters, but no one spoke up, or something like that. Like, kept saying these different groups. I'm like, no one spoke for them. And then they came for these people, and no one stuck up for them. And then they came for this group, and no one stuck up for them. Because, and then they came for me, and no one spoke up for me. And, like, if you're going to conquer, you just go for them, pick off the small groups, and the more you pick off, the less the bigger groups are going to have support from the smaller groups, because the smaller groups won't be there. And that's what kind of scares me about the Democratic Party, is, and maybe it's agent provocateurs, or maybe it's just, those rare this and thaters who'll be like, oh, Glenn Beck should be in jail for, this was more during the Obama administration, but they're like, oh, Glenn Beck should be in jail for what he's saying, and Rush Limbaugh should be in jail for what he's saying, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just sitting back, so you're like literally against freedom of speech. Like, to where you want the government to step in. You want people to go to jail? Like, do you understand how dangerous that is? That is not good. But there's people okay with it. Like, oh, I'm okay with a lack of freedom of speech because the people who I disagree with would be the ones who would be punished. It's gonna be you next. Like, it's eventually gonna be you, or you're gonna be one of the people suckling at the teat. Or maybe God bless you if you can be in the group that has the power. Must be nice. Alright, so we got about a minute, a little less than, we got like 30 seconds left in this episode. So how should we end this? Leave a comment in YouTube, when I post this in YouTube on Back to Brag. And let me know what you think of what I said, or any advice, or any of that stuff. Like, subscribe, turn notifications, follow, whatever, on Back to Brag's Twitch or YouTube channel. Peace. How do I turn this off?